Few public figures have been as controversial as American rapper, record producer and record executive Sean "Diddy" Combs. Since Diddy was arrested and charged with serious offenses such as racketeering and human trafficking in September 2024, internet conspiracy theorists have been trying to link the rapper to other heinous crimes. Could there be any truth in these theories? Here are 5 most controversial Hollywood deaths Diddy could be linked to. It was the night of September 7, 1996, and rapper Tupac Shakur was on top of the world. At only 25 years old, Tupac was already one of the most iconic figures in rap. His music and his way of life spoke to millions. On that night, though, the rapper was gunned down in a drive-by shooting that would forever mark the world of music and culture. In the years following his death, investigations would spiral into tangled webs of gang rivalries, accusations, and unresolved mysteries, with new developments emerging almost 3 decades later. Among the most controversial of these were claims linking the tragic event to another rap mogul, the controversial Sean "Diddy" Combs. But what really happened that night? Born Lassaigne Parish Crooks on June 16, 1971, Tupac Shakur was more than a rap icon. He was a cultural icon, a political and social activist for Black America. His lyrics often tackled systemic oppression, racism, and the struggles faced by Black Americans, which resonated deeply with his audience. But despite his political activism, Tupac led a life punctuated by violence, feuds, and controversy. He spent time in prison, was involved in high-profile feuds with fellow artists, and lived his life under the constant threat of real danger. Shakur was beloved by millions, but his fame also made him a target in a world where rivalries ran deep, rivalries that would ultimately lead to his demise. On the night he was shot, Tupac was in Las Vegas attending a Mike Tyson boxing match at the MGM Grand Hotel. After the fight, Shakur was riding in a BMW driven by Death Row Records CEO Marion Suge Knight, headed to Club 662. At a red light near the Las Vegas Strip, a white Cadillac pulled up next to their vehicle. Without warning, gunfire erupted. A member of the Southside Compton Crips gang, DeAndre "Big Dre" Smith, allegedly opened fire from the back seat of the Cadillac, hitting Shakur 4 times. 2 bullets struck his chest, 1 pierced his arm, and another hit his thigh. The barrage of gunfire left Knight injured as well, though he survived with a grazing wound to the head. Soon after, Tupac was rushed to the University Medical Center. His right lung had to be removed in an attempt to stem internal bleeding, but his condition remained critical. The rapper had to be put under a medically induced coma after repeatedly trying to get out of bed. Tupac lingered in a coma for 6 days, but his injuries were too severe. On September 13, 1996, Tupac Shakur succumbed to respiratory failure caused by his injuries. But questions about his murder persisted, unsolved. Those present during the shooting refused to cooperate with investigators. The complex web of gang affiliations surrounding the case further complicated the matter. However, in recent years, new information surfaced that once again captured the public's attention. Dwayne "Keefe D. Davis, a member of the Southside Compton Crips and the uncle of Orlando Anderson, long suspected to be the shooter, was arrested in 2023 for his alleged role in the killing. Davis, the only surviving witness who was in the car from which the shots were fired, was charged with orchestrating the murder as an act of revenge for a prior altercation between Tupac, Knight, and Anderson. But what made Davis's arrest even more astonishing were his claims about the real architect of the shooting. In a 2009 police interview and subsequent statements, Davis alleged that Sean "Diddy" Combs had solicited him to kill both Tupac and Suge Knight. Davis claimed that Combs, who was then known as Puffy and head of Bad Boy Records, had expressed fear and hatred toward Suge Knight, the leader of Death Row Records. According to Davis, Combs offered him $1 million to handle the problem, an accusation that Combs has always denied. Conspiracy theorists felt vindicated by Davis's allegation against Diddy. After Tupac's near-fatal ambush at Quad Studios in New York in 1994, he publicly accused Combs and fellow rapper Biggie Smalls of orchestrating the attack. The release of Biggie's single "Who Shot Ya" in 1995 only deepened the tensions, with many interpreting the track as a taunt directed at Tupac. In retaliation, Tupac released "Hit 'Em Up," a venomous track that took direct aim at both Biggie and Combs, solidifying the rivalry that consumed the rap world. But law enforcement has never formally implicated Diddy in Tupac's murder. Even as new revelations come to light in court filings and interviews, the connection between Combs and Tupac's death remains speculative. For now, the only person facing justice for Tupac's murder is Duane Davis, and the full truth behind one of hip-hop's most notorious killings may never be revealed. Hollywood has always had its fair share of tragic figures. Among them was actress Brittany Murphy, whose death in 2009, at just 32 years old, sent shockwaves through Hollywood, sparking years of speculation, conspiracy theories, and amateur investigations into what really happened to the rising star of Clueless and 8 Mile. While an official death cause was established by professionals, the circumstances surrounding her final days, as well as the eventual death of her husband, left a trail of unanswered questions. In the years since, Brittany Murphy's death has become a focal point for conspiracy theorists, and the weirdest theory yet draws an unlikely connection to Diddy, whose involvement is now a topic of debate. Born in Atlanta, Georgia, Brittany Murphy was a talent destined for stardom. She moved to Los Angeles in her teenage years, pursuing an acting career that soon took off. Her breakthrough came in 1995 with the role of Ty Frazier in Clueless, a film that became a cult classic. Brittany's ability to shift between comedy and drama allowed her to carve out a unique space in Hollywood, with notable performances in films like Girl Interrupted, Don't Say a Word, and 8 Mile. However, as her career blossomed, so too did Hollywood's pressures. Brittany faced relentless scrutiny over her appearance, with industry insiders reportedly urging her to change her weight and hair to fit certain beauty standards. The stress weighed heavily on her, leaving her vulnerable to the people around her. In 2007, she married Simon Monjack, a British screenwriter whose influence on her life was viewed with suspicion. Monjack, who had a history of legal troubles and questionable behavior, began isolating Brittany from her friends, managing nearly every aspect of her life, from her career to her personal communications. The couple lived with Brittany's mother, Sharon, in a Hollywood Hills home that would later become infamous for its connections to Brittany's untimely death. On the morning of December 20th, 2009, the Los Angeles Fire Department was called to the house after Murphy collapsed in the bathroom. Despite attempts to revive her, she was pronounced dead just after 10 a.m. An autopsy later revealed that she had died of pneumonia with anemia and drug intoxication, listed as contributing factors. The drugs found in her system were prescription and over-the-counter medications, allegedly taken to treat a respiratory infection. The coroner's report pointed to her weakened state as a major factor in her death, but the mystery only deepened when Monjack also died of pneumonia and anemia just 5 months later. Was it all just a coincidence? Or was it something more? Speculation abounded about the role toxic mold might have played in their passing, though this was later dismissed by the coroner. Murphy's father, Angelo Bertolucci, fueled the controversy by claiming his daughter had been poisoned. In 2013, he commissioned a private toxicology report, which suggested that heavy metals like antimony and barium might have been involved. But this theory was met with skepticism. No conclusive evidence ever emerged to support the idea of foul play, leaving the case officially closed, but questions persisted. Following the arrest of Diddy in September 2024, the internet latched onto the idea that Diddy may have played a part in her demise. Brittany was connected to Diddy through her ex-boyfriend Ashton Kutcher and her husband Simon Monjack. One version of the story indicated that Monjack, through his personal trainer, had ties to Diddy and owed significant amounts of money. The theory suggests that Brittany's death was not simply a tragic accident, but rather the result of Monjack's financial troubles with his personal trainer, who was a close friend of Diddy's. The theory also underlines that Diddy's ex, Kim Porter, died in 2018 from pneumonia, an eerie similarity to Murphy's case. The connection to Diddy also points to the bizarre theory involving the inhalation of baby oil. Conspiracy theorists speculate that Brittany's death could have been caused by aspiration pneumonia, a condition that occurs when substances like baby oil are inhaled into the lungs. Diddy's alleged use of baby oil in his personal life added a strange twist to this already convoluted narrative. In 2001, singer Aaliyah was at the top of her game. She was 22 and a well-established name in the music industry. Known as the Princess of R&B and a transformative figure in contemporary music, her rise to stardom was marked by groundbreaking achievements and a unique style that blended R&B, pop, and hip-hop. However, her tragic death in a plane crash shook her fans. Now, 23 years after the incident, a new conspiracy theory links her passing to Diddy. But is there any truth to this idea? Born Aaliyah Dana Houghton in Brooklyn, New York, and raised in Detroit, Michigan, she showed early promise in entertainment. At just 10 years old, she appeared on Star Search and performed alongside Gladys Knight, gaining recognition for her vocal talent. By 12, she had signed a record deal with Jive Records through her uncle Barry Hankerson's Blackground Records. Under the guidance of R. Kelly, Aaliyah's debut album Age Ain't Nothing But a Number was released in 1994, propelling her into the spotlight. She would go on to dominate the music scene with hits like One in a Million and Try Again, solidifying her status as a cultural icon. Her appeal went beyond music as she ventured into acting, starring in films like Romeo Must Die and Queen of the Damned. By the turn of the millennium, Aaliyah was a beloved star, poised for even greater success. Yet her career was cut short in August 2001 after completing the filming of her music video, Rock the Boat in the Bahamas. On August 25, 2001, Aaliyah and her entourage boarded a twin-engine Cessna 402B, eager to return to the United States after an early wrap on the video shoot. The plane, however, was overloaded with passengers and equipment, a fact that the pilot, Luis Morales III, reportedly warned the group about. Despite these warnings, they insisted on leaving immediately. Just moments after takeoff, the plane crashed about 200 feet from the runway, killing all 9 passengers on board. A subsequent investigation revealed that the aircraft exceeded its weight limit by more than 700 pounds. Additionally, Morales, the pilot, was found to have falsified his credentials and had traces of alcohol and cocaine in his system at the time of the crash. These factors, combined with the overloaded plane, made the flight a deadly gamble from the start. Aaliyah's death was not only a devastating loss, but also raised serious questions about negligence and safety in the industry. Although the facts of the matter seem pretty clear, a recent conspiracy theory has taken the internet by storm. A viral TikTok theory suggests a connection between the deaths of Aaliyah, Lisa Left Eye Lopez, and Michael Jackson, all of whom died on the 25th of different months. According to this theory, powerful figures in the music industry, including Diddy, Beyoncé, and Jay-Z, played a role in orchestrating these tragedies. The theory gained traction in part due to J. Cole's 2013 song She Knows, which references Aaliyah, Lopez, and Jackson in the lyrics, further fueling speculation of a broader conspiracy. Although there is no direct evidence linking Diddy to Aaliyah's death, the internet's fascination with celebrity conspiracy theories has kept his name intertwined with her tragic demise. While most of these conspiracy theories lack substantial evidence, they underscore the fascination with Aaliyah's legacy and the questions that remain about the circumstances of her death. For many, Aaliyah's loss continues to evoke a sense of unfinished potential, and the controversy surrounding her final moments fuel the speculation that her death was not merely a tragic accident, but part of something much larger. Another celebrity whose death could be linked to Diddy, at least according to some fans, is Lisa Left Eye Lopes. The visionary artist helped define the sound and image of one of the most iconic R&B groups of the 1990s, TLC. Her death in 2002 left a void in the music industry that has yet to be filled, but the circumstances surrounding her passing have raised questions that continue to provoke discussion, even decades later. Lisa Lopes was born on May 27, 1971, in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. She grew up in a musical family, and her passion for performing became evident at a young age. As a founding member of TLC, she was the group's fiery creative force, known for her unique style and charisma. TLC, consisting of Lopez, Tion T-Boz Watkins, and Rosanda Chili Thomas, revolutionized the music scene with their blend of R&B, hip-hop, and pop, producing hits like Waterfalls and No Scrubs. Lopez's contributions extended beyond her rapping and singing. She played a significant role in the group's artistic direction, designing stage sets and co-writing much of their music. Outside of TLC, Lopez pursued solo projects, collaborating with artists like Missy Elliott, and even producing the girl group Black. Her solo work and collaborations were successful, but she always remained deeply connected to her TLC roots. However, behind her public persona, Lopez battled personal demons, including struggles with alcohol and tumultuous relationships, which sometimes made headlines. Despite this, she was a deeply spiritual individual who sought peace and meaning in her life. In the spring of 2002, Lopez was in Honduras, a country she often visited for personal retreats and charity work. She was there to volunteer at a children's development center and work on her health and wellness. But the trip was both unusual and unlucky. During the trip, Lopez was a passenger in a traffic accident that resulted in the death of a 10-year-old Honduran boy. The artist was shaken by the boy's death. As a result, she began feeling the presence of a spirit following her. Even more, since the child killed in the accident shared a similar last name, Lisa began suspecting that the spirit may have made a mistake by taking the boy's life instead of hers. 2 weeks later, on April 25, 2002, Lisa Lopez was dead. Nowadays, internet conspiracy theorists seem to believe that Lisa Lopez's death was also caused by Diddy. This theory also draws on J. Cole's 2013 song She Knows. While these claims lack credible evidence, they have now gained traction on social media, especially on TikTok. However, many TikTok users reject the theory as far-fetched and hardly credible. But is it that far-fetched to believe that a figure like Diddy, with his immense power and influence, could be involved in something so sinister? The details of Lisa's deaths seem to prove otherwise. On April 25, 2002, while driving a rented SUV with several passengers, Lisa Lopez swerved to avoid an oncoming vehicle. In the process, the car rolled over multiple times, ejecting Lopez from the vehicle. She died instantly from severe head and chest injuries. The autopsy report confirmed that Lopez died from fracture of the base of the cranium and open cerebral trauma. While alcohol or drugs were not factors in the crash, failure to wear a seatbelt contributed to the fatal outcome. Lopez's body was returned to the United States, where a second examination was conducted before her funeral. Thousands of fans, friends, and family gathered to mourn her loss. Following her death, TLC's legacy was cemented, but for some, questions lingered. In 2005, her family sued Mitsubishi, the manufacturer of the SUV, for wrongful death, citing the vehicle's propensity for rollovers. Michael Jackson needs no introduction. He was the king of pop. He was one of the most iconic and influential entertainers in the history of music. When Michael died on June 25, 2009, the entire world was shocked. Since then, the mystery of his death has been linked to many theories and speculations, the latest of which claims Diddy might have played a part in Michael's passing. Michael Jackson was born on August 29, 1958 in Gary, Indiana, and rose to prominence at a young age as part of the Jackson Five, alongside his brothers. By the time he was just a teenager, he had already achieved global fame, with a combination of vocal prowess, impeccable dance moves, and stage presence that captivated audiences. However, his true ascent to superstardom came when he embarked on his solo career. Albums like Off the Wall and Thriller not only broke records but also redefined the boundaries of pop music. In fact, Thriller remains the best-selling album of all time, and its iconic music video is a staple of pop culture to this day. As Jackson prepared for a major comeback with the This Is It tour in 2009, his sudden death shocked the world. The pop icon was found unresponsive in his Holmby Hills mansion on June 25, 2009, at the age of 50. His personal physician, Dr. Conrad Murray, administered propofol, a powerful anesthetic that Jackson had reportedly used to help him sleep. According to reports, Jackson had become dependent on a variety of medications over the years, primarily to manage pain and insomnia. On the day of his death, he was given a combination of propofol and benzodiazepines, which ultimately led to acute propofol intoxication and cardiac arrest. Murray, who was attending to Jackson at the time, attempted to revive him but failed. Paramedics arrived and rushed Jackson to the Ronald Reagan UCLA Medical Center, where he was pronounced dead at 2:26 p.m. The coroner later ruled his death a homicide, citing the inappropriate administration of propofol by Murray as the primary cause. In 2011, Murray was convicted of involuntary manslaughter and sentenced to 4 years in prison, serving just under 2 years before his release. Jackson's death, a tragedy in itself, was also a moment that ignited a flood of conspiracy theories and questions surrounding his life, his addictions, and the people around him. Sure, it was a complicated case, but the truth has since surfaced, or so we believed. The internet, however, believes Diddy was responsible for Michael's death too. Even more, some believe that Diddy had tunnels to Michael Jackson's house. The theory doesn't provide much in terms of evidence, but social media users are going crazy over these latest allegations.